Stephen was born in 1850 and worked as a baker with the local firm of Jimmy Davy. By 1873, when William was 23 years old, quite a lot was happening to Great Britain in general and to the bakery trade in Dunfermline in particular. 1873, that was the year that was. The weather was the worst ever recorded, with tremendous gales and deep snow, followed by widespread flooding, and then an earthquake. Then thick, choking fog descended, which caused thousands of deaths. So maybe the winters nowadays aren't all that bad. Oh yes, 1873. The bank rate went up and down like a yo-yo. So maybe things don't change all that much with the passage of time. There were only 23 million people in Great Britain in those days of 1873, the Victorian days. William Stephen was the secretary of the Bakers' Union, and the bakers were asking the employers 20 pence a week rise in wages. That's 4 shillings. They were turned down, of course, and William had to call the Dunfermline bakers out on strike on the 26th of April 1873. By the 10th of May, having accepted an offer of an extra 10 pence a week, that was 2 shillings a week, the strike was over. But William wasn't allowed to restart with Davies, having been sacked by the foreman, one Tam Stenhouse, for being the strike leader. Unfair dismissal procedures in those days didn't exist. So William was out of a job because of his effort for his fellow bakers. So he decided at the age of 23 to start up on his own. And on Saturday the 17th of May 1873, Dunfermline Press number 735 carried the following advertisement. Opening of bakery premises. William Stephen begs to intimate that he has commenced in the baking business in Gibbs Street, and trusts by keeping bread, etc., only of the best quality to merit a share of public support. Gibbs Street, by the way, is the old name for St Margaret Street. The first bakehouse was just a few yards south of the present bakery, where the Glen Gates actually now are, and opposite the little Moody Street house where Andrew Carnegie was born in 1835, 38 years before. Within 5 years, William had made enough money to build his new bakery, exactly 130 years ago, in 1878. Our office was his shop, and his house above became our boardroom. In another 13 years, in 1891, he built the corner shop at Monastery Street and the 2-storey block of houses. And the following year, he went the whole hog and built a gorgeous 3-storey block of houses in Monastery Street, including a large home for himself with the very first shower bath in Fife. 1903 saw the construction of our unique double Scotch oven. What a task that must have been. It's going to be a mammoth task too, just demolishing it. It's a measure of the man that one of the bakers William now employed was none other than Tam Stenhouse, the same man who had sacked him years before and who had now fallen on hard times. May 1925 we can jump to. William Stephen sold his business. After 54 years of prodigious effort, he was 77 years old and sadly was to enjoy just 1 year of retirement. The purchaser of Stephen the Baker's was Charlie Bowman, a local grocer, and he took on a young baker, Sandy Terris. My father took him on as a confectioner in 1933. He made Sandy bakery foreman in 1935, telling him that with the business climate being so very poor, if Sandy didn't make a go of it, he would sell out. Sandy, my father, worked night and day, and he did make a go of it, but Charlie Bowman did sell out, albeit to Sandy Terris. In the year 1942, in the thick of World War II, period of great shortage of both labour and materials, he developed Stephen's considerably over the 7 years he owned it. But his tempestuous life came to an abrupt end in a car accident on the 22nd of October 1949. And so, at the age of 19, having just completed a 2-year course in food technology, bakery and confectionery at the Royal College in Glasgow, and then having joined the RAF, I was faced with the daunting task of taking over the helm of Stephen's. And that's a story for another occasion. Suffice it to say that my entire working life was spent at the helm of this wonderful traditional family bakery. My father, my mother, my daughter, Leslie, and now my son-in-law, Andre, and my daughter, Rona, have all been privileged to be trusted with the helm of this fine old bakery, as it has continued and grown and flourished. William Stephen's stated mission from the very first day was to bake the best quality and merit a share of public support. These are the principles on which Stephen was founded and on which it has been run for the past 136 years. Long may Stephen's new venture at Primrose continue the great tradition and be ever mindful of our unique past history at St. Margaret's Bakery.